Have you ever noticed a woman suddenly bringing certain subjects into your conversations that feel a bit too personal, too meaningful, or even oddly intentional, as if she's quietly opening a door and watching whether you'll step through it or not? Most men overlook these moments completely, but the reality is simple. When a woman talks to you about specific topics, she is often expressing interest without directly saying it. She's observing your emotional depth, your awareness, and how grounded your masculine presence is. In the next few minutes, you'll understand 5 topics women tend to bring up only when they are already emotionally drawn to you. So, if she has recently started opening up in unexpected ways, stay with this till the end, because the final point explains why her trust becomes one of the strongest forms of attraction. Let's begin. Number 5, she starts talking about her future in a way that subtly includes you. When a woman has no interest, she usually keeps her future plans separate and personal. But when she is emotionally leaning toward you, she begins to weave you into those thoughts without clearly stating it. She might casually mention places she wants to visit with someone like you, or describe the kind of lifestyle she dreams about. Sometimes she will even ask you questions about where you see yourself living or what direction your life is going. This is not random conversation. It's a soft form of testing compatibility, seeing how your world might align with hers. In these moments, the best response is not excitement or overcommitment. It's calm presence. Stay grounded. Respond like a man who is secure in his own path, but open enough to understand hers. That balance is what keeps attraction stable. Now, before we continue, if you're finding value in this, support Tahia Talks and stay connected with more content that strengthens your mindset and awareness. Number 4, she begins sharing childhood memories or deeply personal experiences. A woman does not open her emotional history to just anyone. When she starts revealing vulnerable parts of her past, she is not just talking, she is testing emotional safety. She wants to know if your presence feels safe enough for honesty, or if you will judge, interrupt, or try to fix what she's sharing. What matters here is not advice, it's presence. Listen fully without cutting her off. Don't rush to solve anything. Don't turn her emotions into a problem to fix. Instead, let her feel understood simply through your attention. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, something deeper starts forming beneath the surface. She begins associating your presence with comfort and stability rather than uncertainty. And this connects directly to something important in the final point, because the last topic is usually shared only when she is emotionally affected but still trying to stay in control. Number 3, she talks about her past relationships, but without emotional bitterness. When a woman is still carrying unresolved pain, she speaks about her past with frustration, blame, or emotional heaviness. But when she brings it up in a calm, neutral, almost reflective way, it signals something different. It means she has processed her past, she has clarity, and more importantly, she has space for something new. By discussing her past relationships in a composed manner, she is indirectly showing emotional availability while also signaling that she is selective about who she allows into her life. Now, she is not testing you with drama. She is observing how you respond to her history, whether you judge, compare, or simply understand her without attaching pressure to her past. At this stage, your reaction matters more than your words. Stay neutral. Stay respectful. Don't compete with her past. Just stay present in the moment. As someone who is not trying to win her history, but understand her reality. And as this continues to build, you'll start noticing a pattern. The deeper she goes in conversation, the more intentional her topics become. She wants you to understand her past, but not to use it as a weapon against her later. One thing you must consciously avoid in this moment is comparing yourself with the men she has mentioned before. Do not get pulled into the mindset of competition. Do not try to prove that you are better or somehow superior to anyone she has known in the past. That approach only creates tension and insecurity. Instead, what actually shows strength is emotional control. stay grounded, stay calm, and stay neutral. A man who does not get emotionally disturbed by her history immediately stands out in a different way. He is not reacting, not judging, and not trying to rewrite her past. That kind of presence creates stability, and in her mind, stability turns into respect. There is also a small but very powerful detail most men miss. After she finishes opening up about something personal, don't rush to respond immediately. Let a brief silence sit between you and her words. That pause is not awkwardness, it is composure. It shows that you are not emotionally rushing to fill space just because there is silence. And in that moment, something subtle happens psychologically. She becomes more aware of your presence, more tuned into your emotional control, and more curious about how you will respond. That quiet moment creates contrast, and contrast builds attention. Now, number 2, she starts asking about your goals, your direction, and your purpose in life. This is not light conversation. This is assessment. She is trying to understand what drives you, what your life revolves around, and whether you are moving with direction or just existing without structure. When a woman begins asking about your mission, it usually means she sees potential and wants to understand it more clearly. So, how do you respond in a way that maintains attraction and respect? You stay simple, you stay clear, and you stay honest. Do not exaggerate your achievements. Do not inflate your goals just to sound impressive. A man who is truly grounded in purpose does not need to over-explain himself. His direction, his discipline, and his energy already communicate enough. Real confidence does not feel like performance. It feels calm. It feels steady. It feels like you are not trying to convince anyone because you already know where you are headed. Now we move to number 1, and this is the most important stage. She starts talking about how you make her feel. This is where emotional attraction becomes visible. If earlier stages were about curiosity and trust, this stage is about emotional exposure. When a woman begins expressing how your presence affects her, whether she feels calm around you, more open, more understood, or even emotionally pulled toward you, she is revealing attachment in real time. This is where most men make a critical mistake. They get excited, they react too strongly, or they start trying to amplify the feeling. But that actually disrupts the natural emotional flow. Your job here is the opposite. Stay composed. Stay grounded. Let her speak fully without interruption. Do not rush to label it, fix it, or intensify it. Just allow her to experience that emotional space while you remain steady within it. Because when a woman feels emotionally seen by a man who does not lose control of himself, something very important shifts inside her. Her attraction does not just grow, it stabilizes. It becomes deeper, more natural, and harder for her to ignore or rationalize away. Now, when you step back and look at everything together, you start to see the pattern. These are not random topics. These are emotional signals. These are the kinds of conversations women only open when their guard is lowering and their interest is quietly increasing. Female attraction is rarely loud. It does not announce itself in obvious ways. It moves slowly. It builds through curiosity, through emotional comfort, and through trust that develops over time without pressure. And this is where most men misunderstand everything. They think attraction is something you chase, something you force, something you push forward with effort. But real attraction responds to something very different. It responds to presence. Your job is not to chase emotional reactions. Your job is not to force connection or overinvest in every signal. Your real strength is in staying aligned with your own direction, steady in your emotional state, and grounded in your self-respect. When you operate from that place, you stop overreacting to everything she says. You stop trying to earn her attention, and instead you become the kind of man who simply exists with stability and purpose. And when that happens, something shifts naturally. You don't chase attraction anymore. You don't push for validation. You don't force outcomes. You simply hold your frame. And when a man holds his frame with calm confidence, attraction does not disappear. It moves toward him on its own. And when you respect yourself in that process, You stop needing constant reassurance from anyone because your value is no longer dependent on reaction. It is expressed through presence. Talia talks,